Hey everyone, my name is Veia and I'm here planning my own magic into my everyday life. I work as a middle school registrar in my local school district, and I like to use the Erin Condren teacher lesson planner as my work planner. I've gotten a few questions in the past on how I use this planner, even though I'm not a teacher, to help me manage all of the multitasking that I do in my job. If you don't know what a registrar is, we're basically the people who are in charge of enrollments and withdrawals and record keeping for all of our students, and at my middle school that's 1,200 kids. This planner has really helped me to manage all of the different moving parts of that job. So in today's video I'll be sharing how I do that. I'll be setting up the planner for my new work year, which starts in August, but I'll also be showing you a monthly and weekly setup so that you can see how I actually use it on a day-to-day basis. So if that's something that you would like to see, then please keep watching. All right, so just like my everyday planner, I do like my work planner to be a lay flat style, because when I'm at work using it, I stack up a lot of papers at one time. So I like the ability to just be able to leave my book flat and I can pile my papers on top if I need to. And then when I clean up at the end of the day, it's under there and I can mark what I need to mark, etc. The coil is just something that makes me want to throw my planner to the side typically. So I tend to always choose the soft bound for this planner. And I did choose the Inspire design because I like to color code and use the colorful stickers. So first I'm just gonna go ahead and lay down my little name sticker. I don't have a ton to set up in this planner because I'm primarily here to get August together, because like I said, I'm a little bit behind on getting myself prepared for work. I'm already back to work, so just want to get this stuff done. So I do have some stickers that I made in my Cricut Design Space software and cut out on my Cricut machine. If you've been here for a while, you know that I will break out my machine and make script stickers in a heartbeat. I don't care what word it is I feel like I need. I will find a bunch of other ones to use to make a full sheet of stickers at the drop of a dime. So I did make these and I decided to make these little colorful. These are my school colors. I didn't want to put my school name, but I threw in the school colors. And I think this font is so cute. It's very like, it looks schooly to me, but not in a childish way. And I think this is the DTC. It's either Brown Sugar or Autumn Sunshine. I'll put it on the screen because I always get them mixed up, but they both start with DTC. So I went ahead and made my name sticker in the school year. And then this planner doesn't come with all the bells and whistles of the traditional, the coiled teacher lesson planner basically, but I do still get a lot of these like resource pages. And I always say, if you are trying to use a planner that is for one group, but you can see it working for yourself for your own specific reason, just use whiteout. So I am a registrar, like I said, so I don't need classroom volunteer contact information, but I could always wipe this out and change it to, you know, other people that I have a lot of contact with, like our homeless outreach program, our special education services department. I could put our social workers information on here and things like that. So if you are looking for other ways to use this planner for work that are not, you know, just teacher based, just get some whiteout and make it your own basically. And, you know, maybe learn to make a few script stickers and you can make it completely your own. And in a way that works for you specifically. So I will fill this out later because I don't really need this information in the video. I don't typically use this communication log. I will be using this page to set up my school year though. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my district calendar and my tools so we can get this going. All right, so for this page, I'm going to be using these transparent dot stickers and the foiled circle stickers. I use this to mark holidays and then vacations, and then I back plan sick days. And then for these, I'll just use these colors to represent the start and stop of the school year. So I have a staff calendar and a student calendar so that I can also signify what days that like the students may not be in school, but we employees will be. And I will also mark, you know, the days that we as employees will be off. And I think I'm going to use this color for my work year. starts on the 19th and it ends, next year ends on the 14th. So I'll put that here. Okay. And then the school year I'm going to do in this bright green. Make sure it's different enough. Yep, it is. Okay, so we start school August 7th. And then they end school on May 20th next year. Dang, we just keep getting earlier and earlier. Okay. And then I'm going to go through with the gold circle stickers and mark holidays. So there are a few of these for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and speed this portion up. I will do the holidays in gold, and then if there are any days that the students are out of school, but I am actually at work, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to use the silver for that. I'm going to use the silver for the days that there's no school, and then the gold for holidays, and then rose gold for vacations, which is again a back plan. And then if I want to mark sick days, I think I'll just use my my dot highlighter pen. So yeah, I'll just do that and then I'll be right back. All right, I could completely go into 2024, but ain't nobody trying to think about work next year when I just got back and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. So, okay, so the gold is definitely reflective of the holidays where nobody has to go to work or school, and then the silver is for when there's no school for students. And this is just a really good way for me to not only know when kids are going to be at work, you know, at my job or not, but it also helps me to track my son's school calendar because it's the same calendar. So I'll know that on silver days, I need childcare for him because I'm still expected to be at work unless I take vacation, of course. And now that that's done, I'm just going to really quickly add my summer break, spring break, and winter break stickers on their dates. So the 18th of December, I'll do this one. And I'm going to change this. I'll probably add a stripper washi to like add that in there. And then when is spring break again? Spring break was the 11th, and then they get out of school May 20th. The 11th of March this week. And then summer break. Here. And then I actually need to make one more sticker to mark summer school because, oh, are we having summer school next year? I don't think we are actually, so never mind. Okay, and now on to the next page. This one I'm actually not going to set up yet because I think I want to use this to track the different events and stuff that are coming up on campus, just so I can be more involved. As a registrar, you tend to kind of be like off the scene and like out of touch with whatever else is going on, especially the way my office is set up at my job. But you know, there's days like spirit days and stuff that the kids dress up and whatnot that I like to participate in. So I'm actually going to keep this blank for those, and I'm going to fill them in as I go because they're, you know, usually centered around like the seasons and whatnot. So I will say that I'm going to white out these dates because it drives me crazy that this is an academic calendar planner, but these, what is going on, whiteout? Am I out of it completely? Dang, I be going through whiteout like crazy. Okay, so I am going to date this or change it basically to start with July instead of January. And I'll just use some stickers. I'm sure I have some month stickers lying around here somewhere. Okay, so apparently I don't have any month stickers. I have a whole bunch of weekday script stickers, but that's fine. I'll just make some in my next batch and go from there. So as a registrar, I typically don't use this page for anything. Like, I don't really need it at all. And then now I can jump into planning for August. So July, I started work here, so I don't really feel the need to plan for July when it comes to work. I just mark when I return to work. We're just gonna act like this month is pretty much over, and we're gonna set up August. All right, so on this page, I actually leave this page blank because when we have registrar meetings or online trainings, I like to use these little sections. And I don't know if you can see the shadow on camera, but there's a little shadow that kind of gives me a guide of like sections. And I'll basically try to keep my meeting notes for each meeting within that little section so that I have several spaces, even though it's not, set up that way for notes. So I'll leave that blank. And then on this side, though, I'll go ahead and set up this page with what I usually use, and that is daily, weekly, and monthly breakdown of a registrar's workflow. So I know every district is different, but when it comes to registrar's work, we have things that we're doing every single day that are pretty much the same. And then we have things that we're doing every single week that are pretty much the same, but they don't need to be done every day. And then the same thing for monthly. And that could be things as simple as handling student records a certain way or running certain reports. So I like to track those things and keep myself on task with those things by writing out that list for each month. And for some months, it is repetitive and it really doesn't matter, like what we're supposed to be doing. Wait. I'm doing this wrong. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I thought so. This was not supposed to be where the daily sticker goes. This is where I wanted to put the important sticker. So basically, for each month, I'm going to have what's important this month. So for August, obviously, the first day of school is important. We also have count day procedures that I need to review. I don't think the count day is in August, or it might be at the very end of August or the very beginning of September, but either way, I need to prepare for count day. And if you're a registrar or if you work at a school at all, you may know what I'm talking about. Count day is basically when you take a record of your student count, and that kind of can determine how many employees you get to keep or that you may lose, etc. So it's really, really important. So that's something that I would mark in the important section. And each month, the important section would obviously look different. And then I just put daily, weekly, and monthly. And I do try to space these out evenly. Not really counting though. Let me see. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that gives me 4 lines each. And then I just use the shadow of that line. Again, I hope you can see it from the calendar to kind of divide my page. And then I'll typically just come in here with my, what is this thingy called again? My Zig clean color dot. And I will make a little checklist in each section. And it doesn't always get full like that, but I'm okay with that. And then down here in this section, I would go ahead and write all the important dates, obviously. So I want to say, I actually need to check the day that teachers return to work. So it's August 2nd. Teachers return. And then also on August 2nd, we are having a 6th grade orientation. Of course, I messed that up. And that's what I get for not using my erasable pen, which I usually use. And if you guys have been here for a minute, you know that I can't stand my handwriting, but I'm trying to do better. I also have the first day of school. Okay, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with filling in the dates because I'm not at work, and at work I have more resources and people at my disposal to ask about, certain things that are important. And then this I will fill in at work as well for the same reason, basically. But I'm going to set up my month at a glance so that you can see how I have it ready for work whenever the months are starting. So basically, what will happen is at the end of every month or as the end of the month approaches, I like to bring this planner home and do exactly what I'm doing right now. The same way that I set up my monthly catch-all planner, which if you've been following me for a while, you've seen my monthly setup in my catch-all planner before. But I basically do the same thing in all my other planners at the end or beginning of each month in preparation. The sooner the better. So today is the 25th of July. So setting this up a little bit early, but earlier is way better. This is probably my busiest time of the year when it comes to my job. This is like it starts off right around now and then it keeps going until honestly around October. Like I honestly don't think it slows down until right after that first grading period. And even then, Las Vegas is such a transient city, it really doesn't stop. So yeah, I'll probably catch a break around, Christmas. We'll see. And it's really funny with this job. And somebody did ask me online, I think it was on my Facebook page, to share how I use this planner for this position, the registration position. Or you may be a clerk or, the enrollment secretary or something like that. Wherever you are, it may be called something different. But they asked me how I use this planner for that. And really, it's interesting because you would think, okay, the job is the same every day. What are you writing down? But it's the same every day. It's the same responsibilities, but it is not the same. Like you literally could have so many different variations of families coming to enroll, and then you have to track certain things for those students, and you have to keep up with different things for those students that are way different than the other students. And it's just a lot that you can very easily forget, or there's so many different things that can fall in the cracks with this job. And this planner has honestly saved me when it comes to stuff like that, because it's really helped me basically have a space to write all this stuff down. And I can go back in my books and look to see, like, okay, when was this? I actually had my principals were asking me when was the last, I think it was the count day or something, or what were the enrollment numbers for last year, because that's what we do in schools. We refer to last year a lot, and I had it written down in my planner. So it's really helpful to use it that way. So if you've ever been wondering how to use this type of planner for you, and honestly, even if you don't work at a school, like this planner is really good at breaking down a very multifaceted job where you're like one person doing the job of like 3 or 4 people. This planner is really good at helping you manage all of your different tasks. And I'll show you what that looks like on a weekly basis in a second, as soon as I get done redating all of this. Did I right? Yep, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right, and then same thing for these stickers. I just made them myself and fit as many onto a page as I could and cut them out. All right, so I got that redated. And again, it just makes sense for me to have a Monday to Sunday spread, especially because in this planner, you actually don't even get weekends. It's just the weekdays. So I like to change that just like I do in my other planner. And I did make some stickers for the monthly spreads as well. So this one is going to go here. I'll put it in the corner and add a little embellishment at a later time. But first day of the school year. And then we also have our paydays. And I'm going to put, I want to say it's this one. Ooh, I did not mean to make this sticker this big. Oopsie, that's okay. And then I have a little sticky note for some stuff to go here for the stuff that I marked on the other page. So I'm going to go ahead and use some stickers from my sticker book. I like to color code, so I'm going to use this. These are supposed to be for like this section, I believe. But in my planner, it's a little too small because my planner itself is smaller than the teacher lesson planner. And honestly, I just don't feel like they give you enough of these anyway. So I use these in my month at a glance. I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to put something just to signify that the teachers will be back on campus, because that greatly impacts what I will be doing during the day. I mean, it doesn't change my job, but I'm just in a position at my building where teachers stop and ask me 81,000 questions. So I just want to be able to mentally prepare for that. And let me see, I'm going to use a little coffee cup for that, just because I think that is appropriate. Okay. I'm going to write that the teachers return. And the new teachers come sooner than that. I think they actually come this week, but the OG teachers will be arriving on the 2nd. So this night is the 6th grade orientation. And I will also be working late that day, so it's there. Okay, so that's what I have for that. And then I'll come in and add things, like I said, as I go. And now I can add my weekly stickers. All right, so for my weekly planning in this teacher lesson planner, how I use it as a registrar is I divide up these columns. Instead of by subject, I divide them by my different work tasks. So, and they're my primary ones. There's a couple that aren't going to be noted on here, but it covers most of the basics for me. So first, I like to put something that's important. So if I have something going on Monday that I need to remember first, because I read from left to right as I work through the day, I need it to be in this first box. So I'll put important. And things that I'll put in this section are things like the 6th grade orientation. I need to remember as soon as I get to work and open my planner to this week. Oh, 6th grade orientation is tonight. I need to make sure that I take care of any business I need to on my lunch break, because I'll be staying all the way through, and I may need to arrange for a different pickup for my son and stuff like that. So putting it first helps me see that. And then I put directives. So directives for me means something my supervisor may have told me to do, something my department may have told us that we need to do, either on this date or on this week. It doesn't really matter, because I'll have this page open all week long. It can still stay there and get noticed. It doesn't go away because I move on to another day. So that's what I use this section for. Then I do enrollments. Now, at the beginning of the year, it is impossible for me to track enrollments in my planner this way because there are so many every day. However, I do like to track my new to the state enrollments in this section, because there are so many more steps that need to be done for those students, and this really helps me keep track of this. You could also do this if you have a smaller school. You could also do this on your communication log in this planner or on the student checklist page, because there's so many columns if you wanted to. But it works great for me right here on this page. So this is where I do it. And then records transfer. So with those new to state or district enrollments, I do need to get more records for them versus a student who, is just coming from another one of our district schools. All of their information is in our system in Infinite Campus. So I don't need to request much for them except for maybe a folder. But most of the time, even then, I can just make one, and I probably have what I need from the parents usually. So I will mark down whatever I needed to do. If I need to send a fax for a student, I'll put their initials and then do fax. If I got an email for that student, for that previous school, I'll put their initials and put email. And that's how I track those things. And then for withdrawals, again, not really applicable on the first day of school, honestly, but after that first day of school, you'd be surprised how many parents withdraw their kids right away. Maybe they were waiting on like entry into a private school or acceptance into a charter school or something like that. And so I'll track the withdrawals. And those are very important too, because I get interrupted from all the paperwork that I have to print for withdrawals all the time. So those interruptions can make it to where I didn't properly print out my paperwork because I have to do it on carbon copy paper. And I usually just save them until the end of the day when I don't have parents. So writing down the students' names is really important. So I made a column for that. And then miscellaneous, this is just for if something came up. Sometimes I get calls, I get errors, or something needs to be fixed. And I'll write those in this column. And then this last column is just for notes. And these weeks look different as I go through the year. These sections are much more heavily filled out at the start of the year versus the slow times of the year. But either way, it really, really works for me. Oh, and then another thing I want to point out is in this space right here, I like to use this for tracking any sick days or vacation time I had to put in. If I had appointments or I had to take off to take my son to an appointment, I'll put that here as a reminder, obviously before I even get my day started, but also to remember to put my time in to our human resources system and do the request or whatever. So that is what a week would look like in my planner. Obviously I wouldn't do this on camera because it would have information, like sensitive information, but a couple examples I can give are the events that I labeled on the month at a glance. So I would just get my sticker book, and I believe it was the teachers returning and the 6th grade orientation. So I would put both of those here with some sort of sticker. I'll just use this little yellow asterisk for the teachers returning. I'm gonna do this little gold star for the rest. So I'm gonna put teachers return, and then I'll put 6th grade orientation. And then here on this side, I would also put, I would put something to signify that I would be working extra. And we usually get comp hours for this, so I'll put comp time. And then I'll put the time. I don't know the time of the event off the top of my head right now. I think it's 5 to 7, but I don't want to write it if I'm not sure. But I'll basically put the time, and then I'll also just put in parentheses how many hours to actually put on my timesheet. And then if I were taking off sick, I would do sick time, and then I would put the same thing and how many hours, vacation time, etc. So that's what it would look like in this column for me. And then this space is also really good for me. Like if my supervisor calls me in and says, hey, I need you to run a report for, our total enrollments on, Tuesday, as of Tuesday, I would write that here. I would write the name of the assistant principal that asked me to do it. And that will help me kind of stay on track. And as I'm working throughout the day, constantly getting interrupted, I will be looking at this page and remembering, okay, I need to run that report. I need to run that report. And at the very worst, if it's like not a same day task, when I'm doing my final cleanup at the end of the day and I check over this section, I look here specifically to see, like, did I do all of the things that the different principals may have asked me to do? Because in our school, we have our principal, but then every other administrator is an assistant principal. So different assistant principals who are over different departments may ask for different things. So that's why I would put their initials as well, because it reminds me of who asked for it. And yeah, I would put it here. And then everything else I already explained. For those of you who work a similar job to mine, I hope that this setup and kind of plan with me video was helpful. I know that I'll never really be able to show my entire plan with me because, again, the sensitivity of the information, but maybe one day I'll be able to come show you like in a back plan format, and I'll just cover whatever I need to cover so that you can get a more in-depth look. But in the meantime, of course, feel free to comment down below with any questions you may have, any suggestions you may have, or just share how you would use this planner or how you have used this planner, whether you're a teacher or not. And as always, thank you so much for being here and watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.